has a voice, and it's gonna be heard. Bringing you news you can use and facts that you cannot doubt. Hey.
Welcome to 1P Talk, where you can find me here every week, Thursdays at 8 p.m., chatting about health news, culture topics, and what's going on with my magazine. To get updates on the magazine, you can go to onepurposemagazine.com and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll receive the weekly newsletter that I send out every Saturday around 10 a.m. You don't want to miss it. I always got stuff that I want to chat about. So today I am talking about the Capitol Hill insurrection. I have a written written statement that I do for my blog talk radio show, which is live at 1ptalk.com every Sunday at 3 o'clock. So please tune in. If you are on Blog Talk Radio, you can subscribe for the updates or sign up for the updates. Other than that, I am on every other podcast streaming network. Apple, I believe I'm on Pandora. I signed up for it, I'm not sure. But Apple for sure, Google Podcast, Amazon Podcast. So you can find me out there. I'm out there. 1P Talk Radio. So the insurrection on Capitol Hill on Wednesday, January 6, 2021. What does it mean for us, black people? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. That's James chapter 1, verse 8. A double mind is having in mind opposite of opposing views at different times. To be double-minded is to be inconsistent, vacillating, to be and act one way today and be and act some other way tomorrow. So today on social media, you are an activist, and tomorrow on Monday when you go to work, you're like, yes boss. Okay, maybe not tomorrow because tomorrow is MLK Day, it's a day of service. Hopefully you're out in your communities doing work and serving your community, which is a good thing. I have my little one here. Okay, I know you have to pay the bills, get the kids into college. I know. But we have to make up in our minds that our work for our community is necessary. I know we find safe haven in the suburbs, many of us. I know we sit high in our cubicles trying to figure out what we're going to do with our 401k money in the case the system implodes. I mean, it's looking bad, but in case it implodes, we want to know what we're going to do with our little bit of savings. I know many of us are doing okay. Hell, in this country, most of us never even feel a recession. They come and go because we've been working our butts off through struggle all our lives. But a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. What the heck are you talking about, Nia? Deep down inside, we want things to change. Many of us watch the silly, fruitless act of those thugs on Capitol Hill and we felt nothing. Many of us sat back and watched like it was a new Trump apprentice reality show competing to see who can be the biggest fool. We all know he's the biggest fool, but anyway, the reality is many people could have gotten hurt, but many people have gotten hurt. Many people are hurting. Many people live in fear daily. We have been sounding this alarm for years. Just in case someone is listening this time, there are races embedded in every system structure instituted in this country. These are the cops killing black people and using Blue Lives Matter to hide behind. Do you hear us now? You know, when they turn on their own people, when they turn on those systems that have been oppressing people. Is it too soon for that conversation?
Mommy,
Yes, ma'am.
you keep saying the same thing.
Is it too soon for that conversation? Because I get back to my point. We ain't ready to have that conversation. I get back to talking to my people. But to my people, let's look at some of the statistics that's out there right now. You know, according to the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, I mean, they busy now. So, you know, what goes on in our communities is probably not as relevant, you know, that a little bit of the harassing. But that's not on the topic right now. We're not talking about that. According to the FBI, African Americans accounted for 52.4% of all homicide offenders in 2018, with whites being 43.1% and other unknown 4.4%. Of these, 15.4 were Hispanic or Latino. Suicide. We have learned African American adolescents and young adults have the highest number the highest number and highest rate of suicide of any age group of African Americans. Suicide was the third leading cause of death among African American people aged 15 to 19. Fourth among those aged 20 to 29, and eighth among those aged 30 to 39. Opioids, which is something that I discussed last season and I wrote about last season. The impact of the epidemic in Black communities has largely been unrecognized. Though rates of opioid use at the national scale are higher for whites than they are for Blacks. Okay. Though rates of opioid use at the national scale are higher for whites than they are for Blacks, rates of increase in opioid deaths have been rising more steeply among Blacks, 43%, than whites, 22%, over the last 5 years. Moreover, the rate of opioid overdose deaths among Blacks already exceeds that of whites in several states. The lack of discussion of Black overdose deaths in the national opioid discourse further marginalizes Black people. And that is in J-Law Medicine Ethics publication journal. In 2020, Black people accounted for 58% of the opioid-related deaths in Cook County. 58% according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's data. That's a problem. According to Alcohol Rehab Guide, although African Americans drink less alcohol than their Caucasian counterparts, African Americans are more likely to suffer alcohol-related health problems. Death from conditions such as cirrhosis is 1.27 times more common in African American drinkers compared to Caucasians. Additionally, there is a 10% higher rate of death from alcohol abuse in African Americans despite overall lower alcohol rates. So despite the fact that we drink less, we suffer more. Hunger. African American households face hunger at 2 times the rate of white non-Hispanic households. Houselessness. African Americans make up 13% of the general population, but more than 40% of the homeless population. And I said houselessness because I know that there's a lot of people who work in the communities that don't like the word, do not like to call people homeless. So I like to say houselessness, but at the same time, we're not talking about, we haven't even factored in home ownership versus rentals in the Black community. We haven't even talked about that. That's a conversation to have as well. But that conversation is probably being had out there, but it's something that we have to pay attention to. On top of it all, and bringing it more relevant with current issues, underpaid and overworked. Black workers occupy 13% of all jobs across the economy, but they make up approximately 19% of essential jobs that pay less than $16.54 an hour. All those issues. I mean, no more hiding in our cul-de-sacs. No more fussing at home and smiling at work with blatant racism, while blatant racism is on display and we have to pretend like it's all good. It's okay to be angry, outraged, and damn right tired. This is the time to be angry. This is the time to put away fear and be open about the truths that has kept us in this societal illness that has now manifested. No one can brush away the facts. The truth always exposes itself, and the evidence is on the side of the oppressed. Those pushing for a better future, keep up and stay with the fight. Those that find themselves in the area of double-mindedness, playing it safe,